1982, and the world of music is in a state of flux. There was Michael Jackson's Thriller and Prince's 1999, both artists signaling they were about to conquer the world. Marvin Gaye conducted sexual healing. Al Green had already done that, and he was a reverend again. On the opposite side of the reverend, Iron Maiden with Number of the Beast. Country radio was squeezed by Juice Newton. Whatever happened to Juice Newton? But here in Indiana and around the country, the rock and roller in '82 was a man named Mellencamp, who still wasn't able to use that name professionally. 40 years ago, American Fool was the fifth and last album of original music released by Mellencamp under the name John Cougar. It was the biggest album of the career of the native of Seymour, Indiana. It also meant that former WRTV reporter Greg Todd got to see Mr. Mellencamp for the Local Person Does Good story, with the inevitable walk-and-talk camera shot down a country road, and a tour of what Greg called John's rustic, such a great word, rustic home on Monroe Reservoir, just southeast of Bloomington. John talked about, well, what you usually talk about in these types of interviews, and a warning, it is a John Mellencamp interview, so yes, that is cigarette smoke you see.
I'm a great record player, you know. I mean, I could play records from now on. My dad said, he said the only time John's ever happy is with his feet propped up, drinking a Big Red and listening to records. And that was it. And he said, you're never going to get a job that way, John. And I found one that you can do that with.
But one of the realities of that job was being forced to change his last name from Mellencamp on his first album.
I saw this name, Johnny Cougar, on it, and I thought, well, who's this fool? You know, I don't want that on my album cover, right? And the guy says, look, it's either that or it's no record. And at that point, I didn't have much choice.
But after a little ditty called Jack and Diane, clap along with the hands, you know you want to. After that helped American Fool become the #1 selling album in the country, he had the choice. John would be John Cougar Mellencamp for the rest of the 80s, and just John Mellencamp after that. He and his band of Hoosiers, hey Kenny Aronoff, how you doing? They would win a Grammy for Best Male Rock Performance for Hurt So Good. American Fool was also nominated for the Album of the Year Grammy, losing out to, another blast from the past, Toto. John Mellencamp is still making records. He just put out another album at the age of 70. But as many as he has sold, American Fool is still his bestseller. His reminder that he did not need a Cougar, and he didn't need to leave Indiana to be a star. With Throwback Thursday, Ray Steele, WRTV.